What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what is really moving it today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound is pulling back slightly, 7.93%, 1966 the low, 2285 the high. This has been kind of the same scenario that has played out over the last two trading days. So last week, so Thursday and Friday, shorts hit it hard, bring it down, and then typically you see some value investors and some big money start to buy it up and it kind of recovers. So we'll wait and see how that does play out. But futures, or pre-market, it was up $23.20. That was kind of the high. So it did show some signs that it wanted to move higher. And the reason why it was moving higher pre-market was because of a rating. So I'm going to go over that in a second. But the fact that it always does pull back as soon as the market does open is a very clear indication that whoever is shorting SoundHound also is playing it through puts. So that way they kind of benefit twofold, right? Because they technically bring the price down, the puts increase in value, and then that is how they kind of win-win. So that's kind of shorts this game, what they are doing. But aside from that, no actual news from SoundHound itself, no SEC filings, no insider selling. So it's kind of just piggybacking off the broader market as well as its own technicals. And in SoundHound's case, for the technicals, it's pretty good in my opinion. But right now, net 500,000 shares shorts are increasing. 26.83% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 88.13 million shares overall are being shorted. So you can kind of just see based on this chart how shorts have been really just getting in like crazy. So beginning of December, short interest was 23.6. Now it is 26.83. So definitely moving up, despite the actual share price as well moving up. So again, another clear indication that there is a lot of deep pockets in there. But shorts did increase first thing, roughly around 4.1 million shares. So as per usual, what they do is they kind of hit it hard and then they pull back. Ortex seems to be very much lagging right now. I'm not really sure why. So right now they are still returning a little bit more. So now it is only net 450,000 shares. So a very clear indication of pretty much they are the ones kind of moving it in either direction. But it looks like it is recovering, and so I'll go over some things that you need to know. Starting off with options, 23 million in calls, 4.86 million in puts. So a good amount of money getting into SoundHound, both through common stock as well as options. You're not going to see any records today, but I think in general this whole week kind of is going to be on the low end. A lot of people just take it off, entities take it off, so it is what it is. But 51% of all the options being done today are bearish in nature. And the reason why it is probably that high is because of all the puts that was purchased pretty much straight out the gate. So again, it is definitely something that's happening behind the scenes, but I think shorts are just trying to swing trade SoundHound through options. That's why you are seeing a lot of abnormal volume based on this. So again, that's kind of just my viewpoint on that. Of the call options that are being purchased, you still do see a consensus for it to be above roughly that $25 range / possibly now even 26. So more and more optimism associated to SoundHound. And then that 26 is very symbolic based on the new rating. So I'll go over that in a second. But bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly $17 by this week. So more of a polar opposite, more of a pullback. These are all the transactions that are occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. Based on this, majority of which appears as though as selling. So everything that does show as a bid is a sell. So this is why you pretty much straight out the gate get a lot of selling. But at the same time, as I've shared with you based on SoundHound's technicals, it is above this key point right here. So the super trend. So for as long as it is above that, then in theory, you have the algorithmic trading really working on your side. So it doesn't really matter the fact that shorts are increasing X amount or entities are selling. If you have algorithmic trading on your side, you are going to continue to push higher, in my opinion, again. But with it at $20 and change, it is trading between these 2 points. So the pivot in this S1, 1793 is going to be a strong support. And clearly based on the puts that are being purchased, that's where the bears are anticipating for it to be sub. But $20.80 is going to be that next strong support, 23.67, and then 25.45. So I still feel like there is more upside, and already it looks like there is some recovery happening. So as I shared in my video yesterday, even though you have a lot of this volatility, SoundHound is one of those stocks that even though it dips like a crazy madman, makes you really crazy inside and have gray hair and stuff like that, it typically does recover. So big money does buy it. They just like to give retail a heart attack a little bit, but based on the actual chart itself, it's still fairly good. So right now, with it at $20.22, it is above the ALMA, so that is $20.17. In order for it to move higher, definitely does need to stay above that. But at the same time, because of the recent consolidation, kind of second half of last week, it did cause the stochastic RSI to be kind of reset. So it's not really overbought anymore. So again, that's kind of a good thing. Hopefully being able to just piggyback off the broader market's momentum and continue higher. But one thing that did come out, which most likely I do anticipate more of, is bullish analyst ratings. So this one was done by H.C. Wainwright. Scott, who has a 32% success rating, gave a $26 price target. And just based on my experience with Palantir, when Daniel Ives is seen as the bullish rating or bullish analyst, typically it's kind of funny. It's just, you could tell he's competitive, because I've seen him with Palantir. He gives a rating, then a new analyst gives a slightly higher rating, and within 1 week, even though no fundamentals have changed, he re-rates his rating to be ahead of them. So it'd be kind of comical if Daniel Ives does re-rate himself above $26, only because he wants to be kind of seen as the person associated to SoundHound, no different than Palantir. Because even myself, when I think of Palantir, I think of Daniel Ives now. And now I know that he is very logical with innovative companies such as SoundHound. So don't be surprised within a week if you see him re-rate, or just in general more copycat analysts that do kind of copy him in general. So you might see a domino effect, possibly $30. That would be absolutely epic. And if that does happen, then yeah, you'll see the options adjust and it'll just go up from there. So that's just my quick viewpoint on what is really influencing it right now. It is recovering, so just kind of stay tuned for a lot of the support and resistance points. I think in general, though, all of this up and down is not factoring in any actual concrete news. If they were to put out some concrete, whether it be Burger King, I know that's been floating around on Reddit, as well as, let's say, Taco Bell, or just some other big entity, then you could see just SoundHound go crazy high. And yeah, it'll be a fun time. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon, where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, so take a look to those in the description below. So with all that said, appreciate all of you watching.